Hello, my name is Kevin, and this is Net Prepper. My friend JJ Johnson over at Reality Survival and the American Prepping Academy has told me more than once, never make a video using raw emotion. So I've calmed down before I ever started making this video. Now, there are several big YouTube channels, and I'm talking 500,000 plus subscribers who are sponsored by CMMG. And they talk about how good their guns are and how great their support is. I'm here to tell you exactly the opposite and the crappy treatment that I've been given. Now, on these channels, I know for a fact that they read the comments because they've replied back to me more than once. And knowing that they've replied back, they've had to see my comments when they've talked so good about CMMG that I've had nothing but issues. They didn't care. Right? They didn't care or they didn't want to because they're getting paid so much money. I can't say that 100% for certain, but that's what I'm thinking because they're sponsored. They're hugely sponsored by these channels or maybe by these companies. So I'm giving you an honest assessment of my treatment by CMMG and the lackluster, piss poor quality of the weapon that I was sold. And I paid a very high price for this gun. So the gun I'm talking about is the CMMG Banshee 200. Pretty sure it's 200. Anyways, yeah, Banshee 200. I purchased this from, where was it? The Royal Range back in, if I'm not mistaken, it was 2019. And when I purchased it, I also purchased the Holosun sight here. I can't remember what to call it. Anyways, I put that on it, and I hadn't done any modifications to the gun at all before I took it out and did my first shots. So I took it out, and I had nothing but failure to eject. Failure to eject. It would extract, but it would not eject. Constantly. They said to me, well, it's got to be your magazines. These are factory Glock magazines. All right. I've got quite a few different 32 round magazines. I can't tell you how many 15 and 17 and 21 round magazines that run flawlessly in my other Glocks, but did not run in this. So then it was said to me, it's your ammunition. Really? Okay. I'm not sure if you've ever had any issue out of Cellar and Billet, if you've ever had any issues with Fiocchi, Winchester White Box. I've never had any issues. Now, I had been shooting Lone Mountain ammunition, which is a reload, and I've run into a few problems with the last 500, the last case that I bought, case of 500. Lots of issues with failure to eject, constantly locking the gun up. And I thought, okay, but that's only been recent. This has been from 2019 on. So I contacted CMMG back in 19 and 20. They said, give me the serial number. I did. They said, yes, yours has the outdated ejector spring and claw. So they sent me a new claw, which you can't really see it in here, but let's see if I can show you. It's right there. And spring. Now, when I was talking to them, they said, yeah, can you fix it? I mean, yes, of course I can fix it. I'm quite competent at what I do. I love working on guns. So they said they would send it to me, the updated parts. I'm thinking, well, why don't I just send the gun back to you guys and y'all fix it? It's your gun. I paid $1,200 for this thing. Y'all need to be the one fixing it, not me. But they decided they wanted to send me the parts, which I thought that was kind of piss poor, but okay, that's fine. They sent it to me. I replaced it and took it back out. Same exact issue. That's when people started telling me about maybe it's your magazine or your ammunition, because I was having the same problem with the updated parts. All right, that's absolutely all well and good. Happy for you. I was furious at this point, And at this point, I had also done a few modifications. I put the 45-degree, better, 45-degree double-sided safety. So, and I have no idea what company it is. I just put it on there. I liked it, and it worked very well. We go both sides, and I just up, down. So I really like that. I put that in. This way they can't say that the gun was malfunctioning because you put something like that on. Actually, no, it's not malfunctioning because I put something like that on. I also changed the flash hider and put one on so that I could run a suppressor, which would not affect the way that it extracts and ejects. All right, it never had a problem with extracting, just ejecting was constantly jamming up right here. Also, forgive me guys, I'm still getting over a cold. So, the other thing I've added was the folding stock, which is actually really cool, and I like it. This is an SA. Let me see what it says here. I have my glasses on. Well, I can't tell you because I can't remember. Anyways, and of course it has the very controversial stabilizing brace. Now, I will say this, I am permanently disabled. If y'all ever want to see the 11 breaks, I'll show you the videos, not the videos, but the x-rays of all the 11 breaks in my arm and how they had to surgically repair my shoulder and all the metal that's holding it all together. This arm is a lot weaker than this one. Anyhow, so I'm permanently disabled. This helps. Anyhow, so back to customer service. When I contacted them again, telling them that, hey, the repair did not work, they ignored me. They didn't call me back. I had zero contact, whether it was email, whether it was a phone call. All right, so I was really mad at this point. In my eyes, I've got a boat anchor and or a paperweight. So, after contacting them and getting no response, I started doing some research. This had been a common issue, and the fix was most people were using the BCM extractor spring, extractor claw, and there's a little rubber O-ring that fit down inside of it. And that's what they were using to fix this particular issue. And with any of the weapons that they were having issues with failure to extract or eject. So that's what I did. I had to pay out of my pocket, which makes me even more angry. I had to pay out of my pocket to fix something that CMMG refused to fix themselves. All right. You may have the best stinking weapon that they could produce. You may love it. You may love the company. I had an extremely piss poor customer service experience with CMMG. They did not care. All they cared about was getting the money. They got their money and they sold me something that was lackluster. I would not use this to defend my life. So after buying those parts back in, what was it, 2020 at that point? Sorry guys. Back in 2020 at that point and buying those parts and putting them in, I just put it aside, put it back in the safe. I hadn't touched it until yesterday. I decided, you know what? With all the issues I've had with the ammunition, with other handguns, I decided to go out with some Winchester white box. I ended up not even using the Winchester white box. I was back to my Lone Mountain because I still had another case of it and I wanted to go through it. I had zero issues. So apparently it was just that one case of ammunition that I've been running for, I don't know, a couple of months because I hadn't been shooting that much lately. That one case of ammunition that was giving me issues with my handguns. That hadn't been shot in several years. I think 2020 was the last time I shot it, and this is September 2023. So I took it out using the reloaded ammunition from Lone Mountain, and it ran flawless. The fix was the BCM extractor or the ejector. I keep calling it extractor, ejector spring, and the little O-ring. So I'll tell you right now, it was flipping those things out in the middle of nowhere. I had hot brass go down my shirt, and I don't like hot brass. Hot brass sucks. I got a mark on my back from where it went down my shirt, and I'm like, the RSO behind me was just laughing. He loved it. But okay, regardless, I set the gun down. I didn't freak out and got it out. Pissed and moaned, cussed a little bit, and everybody on the range was laughing. They thought it was hilarious. So the BCM parts fixed the CMMG gun. CMMG, your customer service, your product quality build on this weapon sucked balls. All right. I don't know if I ever will trust this weapon to defend my life. Not that I would, because the type of weapon it is, but I can't trust it. I'm going to have to put, I don't know, maybe 2,000-3,000 rounds through it with zero malfunctions, and I mean zero malfunctions. Not me overloading the magazine, because I did that twice yesterday, and it gave me fits because I put 33 rounds in a 32-round magazine. Don't ask me how in the world I did that, but I did it. I know that for a fact because that's the only one that gave me any problems. And the magazine did not want to go inside. So that's my fault. That is user issue. Anyhow, it ran flawless yesterday. No hiccups whatsoever using reloaded ammunition. It was 115 grain, 115 grain Lone Mountain reloads. I never touched my white box Winchester, which is 124 grain. Now, when I was having issues with it as well, I was also running 115 and 124 grain. I was trying to run it suppressed, and I was having such issues out of it running the 147 with all the ammunition, not just the 147, because they were saying that also the 147 grain does not really run well in this. A $1,200 gun, I expect it to run pretty much anything I want to put in it. It should not be that finicky. So if it runs, I'm going to take a case of ammunition out with me the next time I go. Instead of just taking 2 mags, I'm going to take 10 of them and load them all up. That way I could just keep swapping, excuse me, and just keep going and keep going and keep going. See if I can get 1,000 rounds through this thing error-free. And I'll give you an update when I've done that. But until then, CMMG, you suck. All right? You need to take care of your customers. And if you're going to advertise that your weapons are so bad to the bone, you need to actually fulfill that statement. Because for me, and remember, this is me, sample size of 1. You screwed up. And I don't trust it. I trust my SIG. I trust my Bushmaster. I trust my Daniel Defense. I do not trust that CMMG. I don't expect CMMG to ever contact me back again. I don't expect it, even if they see this video of me roasting them. I expect them to say anything. I expect them to be like, who cares? We got his money. Who cares? We'll keep sponsoring these big channels that make them all kinds of money. That's why I don't want any sponsors. And if somebody ever does send me something to review, believe me, if it's crap, you're going to be told it's crap. So anyhow, I hope you guys liked the video. I know it's long, it's a rant, but beware when you're paying serious money what you may get, and poor customer service. Have a good one, guys.